1,000 Americans in the hospital.
So why is the flu so harmful, and what exactly does it do inside our bodies? Our Sam Champion breaks it all down in this edition of Brainstorm.
Influenza is a highly contagious, acute viral infection that can strike more than 60 million Americans every year. That's about the same as all the people in our two most populated states, California and Texas combined. This sickness is triggered when the flu virus enters the body. Now, the virus is actually a non-living particle until it enters a human cell. And once it has a host, it activates and starts replicating its genetic content about 50 times per second. That's faster than a sewing machine can stitch. As a result, in its very brief 5.5-hour lifespan, a single infected cell can produce more than 1 million new viruses, which can set out to infect new cells. Roughly half a day after the virus enters the body, the immune system responds with its core defense. About 1/2 teaspoon of specialized white blood cells that produce immune modulatory proteins. These proteins attack and destroy the infected cells to minimize the infection. It's actually this process of destruction which leads to inflammation, severe body aches, nausea, and fever. And that isn't surprising considering the fact that to get rid of the virus, our immune defense system may have to wipe out as many as 200 million infected cells. That's 50% of all the cells living in the upper respiratory tract. But the good news is within 24 hours, the body's natural cell production starts to catch up. And it can replace all lost cells as quickly as 2 days.
That's crazy. All that happening as you're not feeling at all well.
Well, we
Yikes.
call this map the cold and flu tracker. Perhaps this should be the cold and flu hacker, because this is where, I mean, it's pretty bad across the entire nation. Widespread here in the darkest color. It's just localized here locally in Georgia. I think it's localized right around the Weather Channel.
Right.
We've had that for much of the season.
Right, it's easier to say who's under that local. It's, you know, Minnesota, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, but otherwise, best defense, one of the best defense, just wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Be kind to your neighbors.
And avoid your neighbors who are sick.
Them.
And stay at
an
home. If you're
option.
sick, really stay at
Yeah,
home.
stay
Don't
at
come
home.
to work.
Exactly. Well, coming up, the Super Bowl may be indoors this Sunday, but the field actually spent some time outdoors on Wednesday.
And we're going to talk about the weather that this field will be dealing with if it's still outdoors over the next 48 hours and the forecast for Super Bowl Sunday.
Brainstorm brought to you by Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough.
Alka-Seltzer Plus presents The Cold Truth.
I have a cold with terrible chest congestion. Better take something. I'll catch up later.
Truth is, Theraflu Severe Cold doesn't treat chest congestion.
Really?
New Alka-Seltzer Plus Day Powder rushes relief to your worst cold symptoms plus chest congestion.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Here we go! And now, Alka-Seltzer Plus has a complete line of powders to treat your worst cold symptoms.
You don't know your credit
I don't know
score?
my credit score.
That's really important. I mean,
I don't know my
Don't
credit
you want to
score.
buy a house, like, ever? You should probably check out Credit Karma. It's free.
Credit Karma. Free.
Credit Karma. Really free credit scores.
Every Sunday night, we're taking our cameras to 14,000 feet.
This ain't a good place to make a mistake.
With these extreme fortune seekers.
Look how blue that is.
Gambling on the dig of their lives.
Get down now! This is an absolute extreme situation. If this is my last year on the mountain, be a fine way to go out.
Season 3, Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 71 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. today, mostly cloudy skies. High 70. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low 55. Winds light and variable. Friday, mainly sunny. High 77. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
A message from the Pulaski Law Firm. You started there right out of high school, learned your trade and did it well. And the asbestos you handled, well, that was just part of the job. If you worked in the trades and were diagnosed with mesothelioma, get the best care available. Then call us. You may be entitled to financial compensation without ever going to court. Call 1-800-950-MESO and see how we can help. Mesothelioma. Don't fight it alone.
Winter is hard on your face, the start of sneeze season, and the wind-blown watery eyes. That's why Puffs Plus Lotion is gentle on sensitive skin, so you can always put your best face forward. A face in need deserves Puffs indeed, and try Puffs Soft Pack today.
You pay your auto insurance premium every month on the dot. You're like the poster child for paying on time. And then one day, you tap the bumper of a station wagon. No big deal, until your insurance company jacks up your rates. You freak out. What good is having insurance if you get punished for using it? Hey, insurance companies, newsflash. Nobody's perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
We're almost there. If your bladder is calling the shots, you may have a medical condition called overactive bladder, or OAB.
Again? But we just went.
Ask your doctor about Myrbetriq, Mirabegron, to treat the OAB symptoms of urgency, frequency, and leakage.
Seriously? It's time to go to the doctor.
Myrbetriq is the first and only medicine in its class for OAB.
Myrbetriq may increase your blood pressure. Myrbetriq may increase your chances of not being able to empty your bladder. Tell your doctor right away if you have trouble emptying your bladder or have a weak urine stream. Myrbetriq may affect or be affected by other medications. So tell your doctor about all the medicines you take. Before taking Myrbetriq, tell your doctor if you have liver or kidney problems. Common side effects include increased blood pressure, common cold symptoms, urinary tract infection, and headache.
If you struggle with back pain, you have the power to turn it off with this.
Smart Relief from Icy Hot. Just press a button and Smart Relief sends a wave of relaxing pulses that quickly and safely block even chronic back pain for fast, noticeable relief that lasts.
It's the same type of therapy doctors and physical therapists use. And it's wireless, reusable, and easy to use. Turn on Smart Relief and turn off pain.
Mondays, we're bringing you a new competition that's big.
This is tough.
Bold.
Oh my God!
Furniture-y. Ellen's Design Challenge. All new Monday nights at 9 on HGTV.
See who's gonna freak my freak.
Wait another minute to start your benefits.
Call 888-997-1426 now.
Every Sunday, the Titans of Weather bring the rain. Geek Out, Sundays at noon on the Weather Channel.
Check this out. Here's the field the Seattle Seahawks and New England Patriots will play on this Sunday for the Super Bowl. It's sitting outside the stadium.
It's the nation's only retractable football field. And you got to check this out. Some fun facts I dug up here. The old tray that rolls out weighs almost 19 million pounds, and it spends about 350 days outside, enjoying the abundant Arizona sunshine in most years. And by the way, it was voted #1 natural grass playing field by the NFL players because it's so beautiful and immaculate. It travels at 1/8 of a mile per hour, so it takes like over an hour for this thing to get in there. And for you agronomy buffs, this field is actually a Tifway 419 Bermuda hybrid grass.
Gosh, my mind just exploded with the awesomeness of this one area of grass.
You never wanted to know about grass.
I thought it was just a field.
But people love grass. Like Kentori, oh, he's a grass nut.
Okay.
I'm talking about Bermuda grass.
Whatever.
Yes.
That big word you said.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk.
That means something different in states like Washington or Colorado, but we're talking about natural
green
lawn. Let's just move on.
Bring it back.
Yeah, I can't.
Bring
I'm
it
done.
back. All right, we've got the showers for the field outside. Friday and Saturday, the showers into the 60s, but Sunday,
plenty of sunshine for the Super Bowl, but again, getting to the Super Bowl, especially if you're driving from Texas or through Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, a big deal for you because of our next storm system moving on through. That is going to tap into moisture and give plenty of moisture. Rain for Phoenix, even starting this afternoon into tomorrow, into Saturday. But it's the snow part of this system which will impact a big chunk of travelers here who might decide to do Interstate 40 versus Interstate 10. Again, look for rain, changing to snow as we head into Saturday, and then drier for Sunday.
All right, and we are looking at this to turn into something very big for a big problem for parts of the Midwest and the Northeast. And Carl Parker has more on that.
Yeah, that's right. We are talking about snow, most likely in the mid-Atlantic region, developing on Monday, probably falling in most of the areas that didn't get much snow from Juneau, so it wouldn't necessarily add to the woes there, whereas this system that's coming in now is going to add a lot of snow to some of the spots that were hit very hard here in the last couple of days. So right now we've got light snow in southern Ontario, coming across Michigan as well, now moving into New York State. And as we take a look at the high-resolution model forecast, that snow begins to spread across New England into tomorrow morning, very early in the morning. Notice that it will warm up a little bit ahead of that low. That's going to turn Boston over to rain, and then the low, as it moves offshore, is going to get a lot stronger. Keep that snow coming down there in Maine and New Hampshire, and that's why the totals are going to be higher. So we're talking about a pretty sizable area of 5 to 8 inches of snow, and that is going to be in the very areas where we got 2 and 3 feet, and then within that 8 to 12. So in some cases, you might be talking about adding a foot of snow to areas that have had 2 or maybe even 2.5 feet of snow, and that's adding a lot of weight to the roofs and obviously creating more transportation woes. And hopefully it's not too much, but we do think there is potential for a lot of snow, especially in west central parts of Maine. Now, beyond that, we're watching a system in the southwest, which you guys talked about. Then we've also got a very strong jet stream there in the northeast Pacific. Both of those things working together to make this storm that develops over the weekend. There's Sunday. That is north of the rain snow line. So we've got light snow, southern lakes, Ohio Valley, then moving over into the mid-Atlantic region. The models have been struggling with this a bit. We saw really strong storms in the modeling a couple of days ago. Yesterday they were weak. Now we're sort of in the middle, showing a modest system. Europeans similarly showing a modest system, but the European ensembles are more like the GFS. So the bottom line is we'll probably be in for a few to several inches of snow there around DC and Philly, the very areas that did not get hit this last time. There's the snow on Sunday, and there it is moving over into the Northeast on Monday. And the heaviest of snow would likely be right in there near the Mason-Dixon line and points southward. Maria, Paul, back to you.
All right, details being fine-tuned, but stay with us, of course, and we're still tracking the cleanup after Winter Storm Juneau.
Plus more amazing stories of survival that prove just how powerful this blizzard was. We're back in 60 seconds right after your local on the 8s.
Currently in our area, 71 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mostly cloudy skies, high 70, winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy after midnight, low 55, winds light and variable. Friday, mainly sunny, high 77, winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
More uncertainty to talk about as you plan for the weekend. We're talking about a cross-country storm.
But what we are certain about is that there will be more wintry weather to add insult to injury. But who's going to get what and how much as we plan for the days ahead?
We're here to study the models, to show you how the butterfly effect adds uncertainty, to time and track it all, so you can get a better idea of what's headed your way.
Thank you so much for joining us for Weather Center Live on the Weather Channel. I'm Vivian Brown.
And I'm Mark Elliott. You know, Vivian, this afternoon, we're going to be talking about another round of suspense, of intrigue. We're watching these weather models trying to come together for what looks like our next winter storm.
Yes, we're talking about ice and snow, the calling cards as this clipper moves east.
Yeah, you know, Cleveland, one of the places that started the day with icy conditions. A little bit of freezing drizzle out there made for some very difficult travel. So we're still looking at that low gray sky, that kind of slate gray that you associate with that wintry precip from Pittsburgh up through upstate New York. Now it's your turn to see some of that winter weather. Viv, let's talk about this clipper on the move.
Okay, we don't want our turn, okay? But it is headed our way again across the Great Lakes area and eventually back into the Northeast. So that's what we're talking about. A clipper racing east now as we progress through the next 24 to 48 hours. Already we have in advance of the system moving in, winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings have been issued for northern Maine. But look here, Boston, you are still under a winter weather advisory. That's because we're watching that next system come in. And again, we've already had over 2 feet of snow from Winter Storm Juno that we were just kind of wrapping up this time yesterday. But here comes the next system. There you can see it clipping its way across the Great Lakes area, and eventually it will make its way into New England, as mentioned. So let's check it out and kind of time it out for you as we show you a little closer inspection of the current radar showing the winter weather right now, because this is the winter weather radar. Where you see the green, that's where we have more or less a chilly rain, but look at some freezing rain and the snow as it works across the western parts of New York and the northern parts of the lower peninsula of Michigan. But this is all rain as it kind of slides through a narrow line of rain moving through the central parts of West Virginia and eastern Kentucky. So we're watching this as it moves on off to the east, but again with that cold air that is in place already over the Northeast in the wake of Winter Storm Juno, we're expecting more snow, and again this is just insult to injury. Back to you, Mark.
So Viv, this is one storm moving through, but there's another one getting organized out west. That's right, the site of Super Bowl 49, Phoenix. You could see some wintry weather in the form of rain for you. The mountains could see some snow. Let's head to the lab now. Our storm specialist, Carl Parker, is there. Weather could be a factor here, and we've been watching the models kind of fight this one out, Carl.
Yeah, we certainly have. When you think back to Tuesday when Juno was hitting the Northeast, the models were indicating that we could see a very strong storm across the Northeast come Monday. Then yesterday they really backed off. And when you see that kind of wavering, that sort of extreme back and forth going on, you know the models don't have a good handle on the situation. But a lot of the ensemble members in those model families were actually a lot more moderate about it. Now, here's a look at the players. You've got this system that's going to be affecting the Southwest, but there's also a very strong jet stream, and that jet energy is going to come across Canada and then dive down into the eastern part of the U.S., and that's going to be the basis for which we see this developing low. So there's a look at the forecast on Sunday. This is the GFS model. We put the rain snow line in right there, so this would be snow, and that's across the southern lakes and the Ohio Valley on Sunday, then moving over into the mid-Atlantic region going into Monday. And where we saw a very strong storm a couple of days ago and not much yesterday, the models have sort of settled in the middle of those two extremes, now showing a moderate snowstorm mostly for the mid-Atlantic region. The European model is farther to the south right now, but when we look at the ensemble members in the European family, there are 50 of them. When we take the average of those 50 members and add it up, this is what we end up with, and it's very similar to the GFS. The bottom line then is that there is a chance right now for a moderate snowstorm across parts of the Ohio Valley. Valley and then the Mid-Atlantic region. That's the way it looks right now. Could be a few to several inches there right around the Mason-Dixon line and southward. It looks like most of the snow in this case would likely not be where most of the snow was in the case of Juneau. So certainly a little bit of a break if it happens that way for folks in New England. Mark, Viv, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Carl. Well, Nantucket Island is still digging out from under a massive amount of snow and ice that's been dumped from Winter Storm Juneau.
Yeah.
It's been a slow process, actually, because the tourist destination is completely cut off from Massachusetts mainland.
Yeah, NBC's Dylan Dreyer tells us how the island community is coming back from the brink.
Well, here on Nantucket, we are certainly seeing things get back to normal, or at least try to. We've got a lot of snow around. We still have a lot of ice, but that sun is strong and it's starting to melt it away. You're hearing just the plop plop of the ice melting off of all the branches. But keep in mind, this island was hit hard. During the height of the storm, we saw just incredible pictures coming out of this area. And after all, they were completely cut off for a time. The entire island was in the dark. And we made it on one of the first ferries over here yesterday, and it was all full of utility trucks and food trucks and fuel supplies coming on over. So they were limiting the vehicles to emergency and utility vehicles only. And it looks like they were working all night long because most of the island has their power restored. Boston Public Schools are closed today, but Nantucket schools are open today despite being surrounded by snow. And the ferry service back and forth to Hyannis is back up and running, the airport as well. So we are certainly seeing things come together here. Everything is kind of typical New England style. You know, you get hit with a snowstorm, you deal with it, then you dig out and you wait for the next one. So it looks like there's a possibility we could see some more snow around here as we get into the latter half of the weekend. But that storm's still a lot of question marks around that one, so we'll see how it plays out. But this area is certainly getting back up on its feet. Back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Dylan. And of course, we will continue to follow this system. Again, the next one that's just bringing not nearly as much snow as Winter Storm Juneau, but we don't need another flake, okay? We're trying to rebuild from Juneau, and then we have to deal with this system with an additional 3 to 5 inches in Boston alone, let alone the rest of northern New England. You can see right on through Saturday. Now, Sunday finally will be totally clear. Maybe by that time we'll be inside watching the Patriots, okay? Then the Super Bowl.
Yeah, a live look at New York right now. Also carefully watching the next storm.
This program brought to you by Sylvania Silver Star Ultra Headlights for Ultra Night Vision, engineered to keep you safer on the road.
Seatbelts, headrests, and airbags help you survive a crash. But if you upgrade your headlights, you may even avoid one. See farther, wider, better. Silver Star Ultra Headlights from Sylvania.
You know, there's a more enjoyable way to get your fiber. Try Phillips Fiber Good Gummies. They're delicious and an excellent source of fiber to help support regularity.
These are good.
The tasty side of fiber from Phillips.
When John Huntsman was diagnosed with cancer, he didn't just vow to beat it.
I vowed to eradicate it from the earth.
So he founded Huntsman Cancer Institute. Everything about it would be different. It would feel different. Look different.
And fight cancer in new and different ways.
With the largest genetic database on Earth that combines 300 years of family histories with health records to treat, predict, and in many cases, prevent cancer.
We made it welcoming and warm, with a focus on beauty, serenity, and getting on with life.
Huntsman Cancer Institute is the only cancer hospital in the world designed by a patient, with the vital understanding that cancer moves fast.
And we have to move faster.
To learn more or support the cause, go to huntsmancancer.org.
Mondays at 9, the Weather Channel unearths the investigation.
This was a totally preventable accident.
The mysteries.
Nobody was flying the plane.
And the final moments.
In 1 second, their fellow passengers were sitting there. A second later, they were gone.
Why planes crash. Mondays at 9, here on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 71 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. today, mostly cloudy skies. High 70. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies early, then partly cloudy after midnight. Low 55. Winds light and variable. Friday, mainly sunny. High 77. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
A little bit here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
Let's go from our little girl to all grown up. Let's say out with the old and in with the options, like that one, or those, with features like this. Let's get exactly what we imagined for less than we thought, and turn a modest budget into a majorly stylish bath. New bathroom? No problem. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Shop stylish vanities in-store and online.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
Home with Dad.
Thanks, buddy.
Does he know what he's doing?
He knows what he's doing.
Ready, Star Command. Prepare for launch.
This should be good.
To infinity!
We all have a Disney side.
Everyone in the car, let's go get them.
And the best place to show it is Disney Parks. So come to the place where the entire family can laugh, let loose, and play together. Disney Parks. Come on, it's time to show your Disney side.
Is it deja vu all over again? Well, we certainly have another storm system that is coming across the northern tier and towards the east coast. This is a clipper, and right now it doesn't have all that much moisture along with it, but we do have that chance for some messy weather to move on through. Cold air is certainly already in place. You got snow to the north, a little bit of a mixed bag of precip down towards the south, and that is key. Zooming in on the snow side of this clipper, my goodness, it's light snow, but it's enough to mess up travel up north in Michigan on I-75, going through Saginaw, you'll have some of those issues. We do have some freezing rain from Pittsburgh up through Buffalo. Hit or miss, but it doesn't take much freezing rain to really give you problems on the roads. And then south of Pittsburgh, we transition to just plain old rain, and we can follow that down I-79 in a narrow corridor of showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder or two. When all is said and done, though, this thing goes off the coast and actually throws back some Atlantic Ocean moisture. So Maine down through Boston, chance for some decent snow, and that's the last thing we need after what we just went through. Viv, over to you.
You got that right, Mark. But not only are we talking about the snow, but the cold air in places that have not been so cold. But you know what? Yeah, we are back in the reality of things. Minneapolis, you can see right now, we have a little bit of snow left on the ground because you didn't really get the brunt of the heaviest with Winter Storm Juno. But we do have the cold air that's coming back, and that is our other top story across the plains and the Intermountain West. So the winter cold is back due to that very same little clipper system that Mark was talking about. So let's detail the latest, because this system will be moving off to the east, and right with it, we're talking about the colder air. I don't know why okay, there we go. Including places like Kansas City. Can you believe yesterday we were almost 35 to 40 degrees above average? We were in the middle 70s for the most part. That won't be the case today. A little closer to average, and will stay that way. In fact, fact, dropping below average by the end of the weekend. And look at Monday, still staying below the freezing mark. So a serious roller coaster we've been dealing with in the Kansas City area and much of the plains for that matter, and the Intermountain West. So here's a look at the scenario. The wind chills right now already making it feel much colder, only in the teens over the eastern parts of the Dakotas, below freezing in Minneapolis. As you can see, highs today not getting out of the low 30s for the most part. Tomorrow, Minneapolis even colder, only 27. And look at this, Green Bay, 19 degrees. Chicago, 26 degrees. But even places like Kansas City, as mentioned, not really getting out of the 40s over the next couple of days. So there you have it, in the deep freeze around Minneapolis. Temperatures not getting above the freezing mark for the next several days. And look at this, the coldest day will be Super Bowl Sunday. I know you're not in the Super Bowl, but still you're probably going to be watching the game, right? 13 degrees, the forecast high on Sunday with partly sunny skies. Mark?
Well, is all this talk of cold and snow getting you down? Don't let it. Let's talk about some place where the weather is amazing, like here in Miami Beach. I'll jump on that cruise line. I got no problem with that one, that's for sure. A beautiful day in South Florida. In fact, much of the region is going to have just gorgeous stuff. In Miami for the weekend, look at this. Upper 70s Friday, low to mid 70s as we work our way through the next couple of days. And it is not just Miami. No, we're talking about much of South Florida with really nice stuff. Here's Saturday, right? Low 70s in Tampa, Miami 72. The rest of the Southeast, not too bad. Some 50s and some 60s across the southeastern states. We work our way into Sunday. You get far enough north, that's where you run back into some of that precipitation. But Florida, oh, sign me up. Sunshine State looking great.
Sir, we're gonna need you on the runway later.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu. It has the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. Theraflu breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms, so you never miss a day. Theraflu. Serious power.
Huh. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Ickey Woods will celebrate almost anything?
Number 44. Woo! 44, that's me!
Get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts.
Woo! Give me some!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
44, ladies, that's me! Woo! Gonna get some cold cuts today.
Hey ladies, you love it. You gotta have it. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because that cinnamon and sugar is so irresistible. Everybody craves those crazy squares.
Are you a man over 40 and feeling tired, losing muscle, have less romantic drive? Then you need Ageless Male, with an ingredient clinically shown to increase free testosterone levels. Ageless Male is now available at these fine retailers.
Mondays at 9, the Weather Channel unearths the investigation.
This was a totally preventable accident.
The mysteries.
Nobody was flying the plane.
And the final moments.
In 1 second, they're...
If you want a front row seat to your favorite NBA team all season long, NBA League Pass on Xfinity from Comcast has you covered. With up to 40 out-of-market games a week, you can follow your favorite team no matter where you live. Plus, you can watch the action on any device, including your tablet, laptop, and smartphone. Order NBA League Pass right now and save with 4 easy payments of $24.75. Call 1-800-XFINITY or go online.
There is something in the people, something in the sand, there's something in the air, something in the water, something in the night. It's called All Right, and it's something you can only find here. Jamaica, home of All Right.
399-2752. That's 800-399-2752. 800-399-2752.
Every Sunday, the Titans of weather bring the rain. Geek Out, Sundays at noon on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s, brought to you by Duracell, trusted to outlast the storm.
I've seen hurricanes, floods, I've seen tornadoes. We give out Duracell batteries after the worst happens. And when the power's out for days, we stay with them. You might say they lost everything, but that's not what I see. I see a different kind of power. I saw it in Ruth, Adam, Tom. It's the power they have inside of them. The power to move forward.
At Duracell, we believe that's the power that never, ever goes out.
Currently in our area, 70 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, considerable cloudiness. High 70. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. Low 55. Winds light and variable. Friday, a mainly sunny sky. High 77. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
So here we go again. There is another storm on the way across the country. And this thing, you know, we've been talking about uncertainty as we follow this cross-country winter storm. It's the butterfly effect, right? We talked about this time yesterday, if you were watching our show, we went from the potential for a huge storm Monday in the Northeast to almost no snow in the Northeast Monday at all. Now, the models are still battling this one out. That's that uncertainty. We're days away. Some of the energy is here off the California coast. Some of the energy is still well in the Pacific. So these models are trying to pick up these little pieces, and small changes, that butterfly flaps its wing type effect, can have huge implications to the forecast downstream. So here's what we do know. We've got this jet stream dip into the weekend, which is going to allow an area of low pressure to move eastward across the country. And it definitely will provide some less than stellar weather across the southwest. Moisture gets pulled north into Arizona and New Mexico. And if you're trying to travel towards, let's say, Phoenix for the Super Bowl, it means some messy weather for you. We can time this out for you. The clouds start off Thursday. We'll see the cloud cover really increasing. From the south, the rain comes in Friday in the overnight hours, continuing Friday through the day. It really is going to be quite soggy. Lots of those outdoor plans leading into the big game, and that is going to certainly mess things up. I mean, look at the rainfall forecast through Friday into Saturday morning, approaching an inch of rain for the Phoenix area, which is a pretty big rain event for the desert southwest. So keep this in mind as you make your plans. 1 to 2 inches of rain not out of the question across much of Arizona and New Mexico. There is also that snow side of things, right? We're looking at the chance for snow in the higher elevations, Colorado to New Mexico. So if you're traveling I-40, for example, there could be some slick spots. That's something to watch out for as well. And from here, well, we get some help from the upper level disturbances coming out of Canada. They join forces over the center of the country. And then we have some big question marks as this thing heads east as we head towards Saturday night into Sunday. Viv, over to you.
And of course, that's when we talk about the butterfly effect. But let's deal with more in terms of the drought scenario here in California now. Mark talked about additional rain over parts of the southwest, but not where we could absolutely positively use it. As you can see, we're still suffering from an exceptional drought here in California. 40% of the state reporting drought conditions. So it is a huge concern, and we really wish we could just irrigate some of that water or some of that snow even from the northeast and push it back here over the southwest. Look at that beautiful, unblemished blue sky here over San Francisco. I mean, on a typical day, this would be a beautiful scene, right? But just knowing that we so desperately need the clouds and the rain doesn't make that picture look so pretty, right? But no rain or snow is in the forecast, for San Francisco or most of California. So this is is why the jet stream well to the north, and this has been the case so far this month for the most part. But Mark told us about the dip in the jet stream that is going to bring some rain over some parts of the southwest, but not so much in San Francisco. And this is supposed to be the rainy season. In fact, as you can see, the month of January on average receives the heaviest amounts of rain, a little over 4 inches. And again, that's what we've seen not only at the airport but downtown on average in January. But so far last year we got very little, and even this year again 0 in terms of rain and or snow in the San Francisco area or the mountains just outside of San Francisco. And here we go, the forecast heading into the weekend. There you see all the sunshine here, but we do have some rain with the system coming across the southwest and the Four Corners region. And this is actually some good news in parts of Arizona, but again, the bigger story is right here in California, where we're suffering from an exceptional drought scenario. And here's a look at the forecast for Sunday, looking at beautiful sunshine. But again, that word beautiful, I'm using it loosely. Back to you, Mark.
Well, the last thing we want in the Northeast is more winter weather, and not when you're still dealing with snow piles that cover buildings. But more could be on the way. Details next.
The following is a true Lipozene success story. Meet Anna. Like so many of us, as she got older, she found it harder and harder to lose weight. But that's when she discovered America's #1 selling diet supplement, Lipozene. And with Lipozene, you won't believe what happened, so stay tuned. Lipozene is now sold over 20 million bottles. That's because Lipozene really works. In fact, it's clinically proven to help you lose weight without changing your lifestyle. And of the weight you do lose, 78% is pure body fat. And pure body fat is exactly what Anna lost when she discovered Lipozene. And now, for only $29.95, you can join the millions of people just like Anna who have lost weight with Lipozene. But wait, call right now and we'll double your order absolutely free. Plus, we'll even pay for your shipping. What about you? Are you ready to be the next Lipozene success story? Lipozene is now sold over 20 million bottles. That's because Lipozene can help you lose weight without changing your lifestyle. And to prove it, we conducted our very own double-blind clinical study, where all we asked people to do was take Lipozene. That means they were not asked to change their diet or exercise. They were simply instructed to take Lipozene. And by just taking Lipozene, they lost weight. But here's where it gets really exciting. 78% of the weight they lost was pure body fat. And now, for only $29.95, you can join the millions of people who have lost weight with Lipozene. Lipozene is guaranteed to help you lose weight or your money back. But wait, call right now and we'll double your order absolutely free. Plus, we'll even pay for your shipping. What about you? Are you ready to be the next Lipozene success story? And now, meet Robbie. Like so many of us, he wanted to lose weight, but didn't know how to do it. But that's when he discovered America's #1 selling diet supplement, Lipozene. And with Lipozene, you won't believe what happened, so stay tuned. Lipozene is so powerful, it's clinically proven to help you lose weight without changing your lifestyle. And of the weight you do lose, 78% is pure body fat. And pure body fat is exactly what Robbie lost when he discovered Lipozene. And now, for only $29.95, you can join the millions of people just like Robbie who have lost weight with Lipozene. Lipozene is guaranteed to help you lose weight or your money back. But wait, call right now and we'll double your order absolutely free. Plus, we'll even pay for your shipping. But that's still not all. To celebrate selling over 20 million bottles of Lipozene, we'll give you a free bottle of the metabolism-boosting Metabo-Up with your order. That's a $20 value free. But you must call right now because this exclusive free offer is not available in stores. What about you? Are you ready to be the next Lipozene success story?
To order your Lipozene, call 1-800-870-0658. That's 1-800-870-0658.
Mondays at 9, the Weather Channel unearths the investigation.
This was a totally preventable accident.
The mysteries.
Nobody was flying the plane.
And the final moments.
In 1 second, their fellow passengers were sitting there. A second later, they were gone.
Why planes crash. Mondays at 9, here on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 70 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, considerable cloudiness. High 70. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. Low 55. Winds light and variable. Friday, a mainly sunny sky. High 77. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
I feel like we handled this, and the state handled it very well, and we got through it. So it's maybe just practice for another one that might be coming. So I feel pretty good.
I would probably cry and go hide in my bed right now because I'm going to see a concert, and that's the last thing I want to do is have to wake up to another storm. It's so cold.
Usually it comes one next to the other, but they expect snow again for next Friday. I like it. It keeps me busy and warm.
You can see there is a lot of snow right now. Where we're going to put the more snow? I don't think we're going to have a room for that. Yeah.
It's amazing how many people were able to laugh this one off a little bit, right? A bit of a 1-2 sucker punch, right? Oh, hello, and thanks for joining us for Weather Center Live. I'm Mark Elliott.
And I'm Vivian Brown. Mark, from Winter Storm Juno, of course, to this next Clipper system and more winter weather behind that. Yeah. It's really like a slap in the face.
It's just not fair. We've got so much snow out there already.
Let's talk about what's coming next now. We're looking live at Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Boston. These cities will be impacted by this next fast-moving Clipper system. So here's Mark to tell us all about it.
Yeah, and Viv, this Clipper is on the move. It is racing its way across the country, and you know what? That race east is going to bring some snow. We've got some winter weather advisories lingering back towards the Grand Rapids area, freezing rain advisories near Pittsburgh because some freezing drizzle has been featured so far today, and that's actually moving north into upstate New York. And winter storm warnings, believe it or not, here in Maine because of the potential for some actually pretty substantial snow on top of the 20 to 30 inches you just saw from Juno. So here we go. Here's the Clipper. You can see that moisture really quickly racing towards the east. This warm front's important. The southerly winds are kind of going up and over that warm front area, then falling back down into the cold air below. That's why we're seeing these purple colors on the map. And we'll get to the purple in just a second. Let's start out on the snowy side of this thing. We're still seeing some snow here from, just north of Detroit. If you're traveling 75 up north, well, there goes our maps, which makes it much harder to talk about, right? Oh, and we're back. I-75, seeing some of that snow. We're looking at some freezing rain, though, as you get towards the Buffalo area and I-90. So watch out for slick spots. It really doesn't take much freezing rain to really mess things up. And, of course, we're looking at some rain further south through West Virginia into southwestern portions of Virginia itself. This Clipper, it is racing its way towards the east. Here's the timing for you. By overnight Thursday into Friday, we're looking at snow through New England. Boston, especially north and west of town, you could see some snow, heavy snow Friday afternoon across Maine. Some rain right at the coast, so watch out for some flooding. You get 30 inches of snow all melting at once because you get some rain, and there could be some flooding in spots. But then you crash back over to snow, even at the coast of Maine, by overnight Friday into Saturday. So refreezing, it could be a mess, that's for sure. Look at the snowfall total potential, 8 to 12 inches from Bangor down through, let's say, the border there. Then north of Boston, 5 to 8 inches, not out of the question. Of course, this is just storm number 1. Carl, the models having fits at times with that potential for the next storm. We've been talking about the butterfly effect and how small changes can have big implications downstream.
Yeah, it's been really interesting because a couple of days ago, a couple of our very good models have indicated that we might be in for a very strong storm along the northeast coast coming up on Monday. And then yesterday they really backed off and they were showing a really weak system. Now, it's more complicated than that because each of these models has ensemble members, and that's when they slightly change the initial conditions and then the model is rerun and we come out with a different solution. And that's what we're talking about when we talk about the butterfly effect. The idea being that a butterfly flapping its wings can alter the air around it, and it continues to happen like that, growing larger and larger to the point point where the butterfly might have an impact on a storm on the other side of the world 3 weeks later. That's chaos theory, and that's part of what happens with the modeling, and that's why they run these ensembles. And the other difficulty is that you've got this data sparse area in the ocean. So when you think about it, you've got all of these places here where you're getting surface temperature data, you're getting humidity data, you're getting wind data. All that data is fed into the computer models, hundreds and hundreds of stations all across the U.S. But out here, you don't have any of that at the surface. What you've got is remote sensing. You've got satellite data, so you have much less information going into the models, and it makes it difficult to get a sense of the exact character of that upper wind, which is eventually going to come across the U.S. and have an impact on this developing storm in the east. So here is what the models are showing today. There's the GFS model, and they've come back around sort of into the middle, showing a more moderate storm, indicating lighter snow in the southern lakes on Sunday, a little bit heavier around the Ohio Valley. This, by the way, is the rain snow line right through there. Then that comes over into the mid-Atlantic region on Monday, and that would mean snow in a lot of the very areas that didn't get much out of Winter Storm Juno. So we're talking about D.C. and Philly in particular, maybe a few, maybe several inches with a more modest storm as it looks right now. Now, the European model, the operational run of the European model from last night, showing that you've got a system that is weaker and farther to the south. But again, there are these ensemble members, going back to the butterfly effect, where they change the initial conditions slightly and then rerun the model 50 times. And then we come up with an average of what all of those ensemble members are saying, and it looks a lot more like the GFS. So the bottom line is that there is potential now for a moderate storm in the mid-Atlantic region and parts of the Midwest. Again, slightly heavier snow, we think, around the Ohio Valley, and then as it comes over into the mid-Atlantic region, we could see some heavier snow in New Jersey, maybe also into Maryland. At this time, not looking like a tremendous storm, but a more middle-of-the-road kind of a storm, and again, possibly a few to several inches along with that on Monday. Vivian, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Carl. Well, he used the word crustacean, so let's talk more about crustaceans, because like the crustacean he catches, a Massachusetts man has a tough outer shell. Now, he survived Winter Storm Juno's 14-hour pounding on the shores of Marshfield.
Yeah, but the lobsterman's home of 50 years didn't make it. Our Dave Malkoff has his amazing storm survival story.
The waves are still crashing, but the damage is done here in this lobstering community just south of Boston.
It started getting worse and worse and worse.
Tide rose and the frozen storm took out about a dozen homes. Tim Maddox called this place home for 50 years. That was until Juno took it down, with him inside.
Well, this is the worst one I've had.
And you went through 78?
Yeah, 78, 91. You know, the no-name Halloween storm. That was a good one, too.
That gash on his face? It's where a sliding glass window sliced him.
Oh, the wood frame got me. Bang.
Nearly knocked out and bleeding, Tim ran outside, the storm still raging.
You know, I jumped in my truck. I made it to the end of the driveway, and that's when I called 911. I finally called 911. I should have probably called it earlier than that, but I thought I could get out of the driveway. No way.
The blizzard lasted for 14 hours here. The seawall crumbled, flooding the streets in 3 to 4 feet of icy water. But Marshfield police came and rescued their friend anyway.
Looks like you lost. Try to take on Mother Nature again.
Well, Mother Nature took the lobsterman's house and nearly his life. And now 22 stitches and the thousands who live here will put this seaside community back together again.
These storms are just, they're worse. Everyone's worse, it seems. Every storm gets worse. One tide did this. One tide. Usually it takes 3 or 4 of them to build up to a damaging storm. Here, you know.
Well, that's what you call a man of men. Let me tell you, standing there with 20 stitches in his face, but still standing strong. Okay, let's check out the forecast, because we have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that Winter Storm Juno is gone, but look at tomorrow's forecast. More additional snow across much of northern New England. However, conditions will improve as we pass tomorrow. The sun will return, and that'll make it maybe a little bit better.
Currently in our area, 70 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, considerable cloudiness. High 70. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. Low 55. Winds light and variable. Friday, a mainly sunny sky. High 77. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Let's go from our little girl to all grown up. Let's say out with the old and in with the options, like that one, or those, with features like this. Let's get exactly what we imagined for less than we thought, and turn a modest budget into a majorly stylish bath. New bathroom? No problem. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Shop stylish vanities in-store and online.
How about over there?
What does it mean to have an unlimited mileage warranty on a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz? What does it mean to drive as far as you want for up to 3 years and be covered? It means your odometer is there to record the memories. During the Mercedes-Benz Certified Pre-Owned Sales event now through March 2nd, you'll get complimentary prepaid maintenance and receive your first 2 months payments on us, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer.
And I turn around and there's 3 rattlesnakes.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't worry, Rob, you're covered.
State Farm agents are there whenever you need them.
You know, some people have told me reverse mortgages sound too good to be true. I mean, you get cash out of your home, no monthly payments, and still own your home. There's got to be a catch, right, Jesse? Well, there isn't. It's like any other mortgage, only with a reverse mortgage, the loan's paid back when the last borrower leaves the home. In fact, reverse mortgages are based on a notion that President Reagan signed into law over 25 years ago in order to help seniors remain in their homes. If you're 62 or older and own your own home, you may qualify for a government-insured reverse mortgage with AAG that allows you to turn the equity in your home into tax-free cash. And with AAG, there are never any income or credit score requirements.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive a new free information kit, including a reverse mortgage guide and DVD, personal stories from people like you, and a brand new family guide for children and loved ones, all absolutely free with no obligation.
AAG can help you pay off credit card debt, eliminate monthly mortgage payments, and provide some real retirement security.
Call 1-800-661-0312 today to get your free AAG reverse mortgage information kit and bonus DVD.
In the kits, you'll receive a helpful 3-part guide. The first will show you how a government-insured reverse mortgage allows you to access the equity in your home as tax-free cash. 500,000 people have already done it. The second booklet contains stories told by people just like you who've had their lives changed forever using a reverse mortgage. And the third guide is full of helpful answers and information for children and loved ones.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive your information kit and DVD, all absolutely free.
There's simply an effective way for folks just like you to get the cash you need to enjoy your retirement.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive your information kit and DVD, all absolutely free. Call 1-800-661-0312 now.
AAG, the best advice for a better life.
Every day, Bill had a choice. He could do the same old boring things, or he could start speaking a new language with Rosetta Stone.
Je t'aime.
The fastest way to learn a language.
Comme ça?
Très bien.
Guaranteed. Right now, you have the same choice. You could let time pass you by, or you could seize the day. Experience the new Rosetta Stone. Call now for a free demo at 1-800-ROSETTA.
Well, you know, all of this snow and the cold weather has forced most of us indoors, but being in those close quarters can lead to sickness.
Yeah, you know, between October and May, the flu can put up to 200,000 Americans in the hospital. So why is the virus so harmful, and what does it do to the human body in the first place?
All right, well, our own Sam Champion breaks it down in this edition of Brainstorm.
Influenza is a highly contagious, acute viral infection that can strike more than 60 million Americans every year. That's about the same as all the people in our two most populated states, California and Texas combined. This sickness is triggered when the flu virus enters the body. Now, the virus is actually a non-living particle until it enters a human cell. And once it has a host, it activates and starts replicating its genetic content about 50 times per second. That's faster than a sewing machine can stitch. As a result, in its very brief 5.5-hour lifespan, a single infected cell can produce more than 1 million new viruses, which can set out to infect new cells. Roughly half a day after the virus enters the body, the immune system responds with its core defense. About 1/2 teaspoon of specialized white blood cells that produce immune modulatory proteins. These proteins attack and destroy the infected cells to minimize the infection. It's actually this process of destruction which leads to inflammation, severe body aches, nausea, and fever. And that isn't surprising considering the fact that to get rid of the virus, our immune defense system may have to wipe out as many as 200 million infected cells. That's 50% of all the cells living in the upper respiratory tract. But the good news is, within 24 hours, the body's natural cell production starts to catch up. And it can replace all lost cells as quickly as 2 days.
And here's the thing, a lot of you need to do some of that cell replacement right now because most of the country is seeing flu that's as bad as it gets on the tracker scale. According to the CDC, widespread is as bad as the flu scale goes, and all but 4 states in the lower 48 are at those widespread numbers. Now, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and Minnesota getting a little bit of a break from the flu, but my goodness, a lot of you have been sick this year, so take it easy out there and try to avoid those other sick people. Viv, over to you.
Well, at least we're in Georgia here, Mark, so it looks a little better for us in terms of the flu. Well, let's check out the weekend because, as you can see on Sunday, well, this is Super Bowl Sunday. It will be held in the Phoenix area, and as you see, we have quiet conditions in Phoenix on Sunday, but on Saturday, we have this system that'll be swinging through parts of Arizona, the entire Four Corners area, picking up some of the moisture from Texas into Oklahoma and spreading it all the way into central Missouri, the west to central parts of Illinois. Again, this is Saturday's national weather picture. And as we look at Super Bowl Sunday, again, we will clear out, we're thinking, around the Phoenix area, but all of that rain and snow will be moving to the east of the Ohio Valley. And we talk about more snow perhaps on Monday in the Northeast. Now, Sunday, we have the Patriots and the Seahawks, right? So it's going to be cold but sunny in Boston with temperatures only in the 20s. Seattle, well, there's a chance of a little bit of light rain, but the temperatures will be warmer. So would you rather the rain and the warmer air or the clear skies and the cold air? I don't know. Of course, the better team will win at the end in the Super Bowl here down in Phoenix. So, of course, we'll keep you updated on the weather aspect of it all. Back to you, Mark.
That's actually how Viv always picks her Super Bowl winning team, by just seeing which city's weather she likes more that day, and that's the team she picks off on the pool. So, you know, maybe you'll follow along and then you'll win along with her. In any case, there's another system that we can say bye to those warm days across the plains. Minneapolis, that includes you. Say goodbye to the 20 to 30 degree temperatures above average that you've been seeing, and say hello to the cruel reality that it's still winter. We'll break down this next storm when we return.
Brainstorm, brought to you by Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough.
I have the flu with a runny nose. Better take something.
Theraflu Severe Cold won't treat your runny nose.
Really?
Alka-Seltzer Severe Cold and Flu relieves your worst flu symptoms plus runny nose.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Mommy!
So you're saying you're going to give me my credit score for free, right? And then you're going to ask me for my credit card so you can charge me on the down low. 2 weeks later, look, Credit Karma.
Oh, are you talking to websites again?
It's saying free credit score.
Credit Karma?
Yeah.
It's actually free. Look, you don't have to put in your credit card information. Credit Karma. Really free credit scores. Really free.
Fist bump.
Every Sunday night, we're taking our cameras to 14,000 feet.
This ain't a good place to make a mistake.
With these extreme fortune seekers.
Look how blue that is.
Gambling on the dig of their lives.
This is an absolute extreme situation.
If this is my last year on the mound, be a fine way to go out.
Season 3, Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 70 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, considerable cloudiness. High 70. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. Low 55. Winds light and variable. Friday, a mainly sunny sky. High 77. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Your mom's got your back. Your friends have your back. Your dog's definitely got your back. But who's got your back when you need legal help? We do. We're LegalZoom. And over the last 10 years, we've helped millions of people protect their families and run their businesses. We have the right people on hand to answer your questions, backed by a trusted network of attorneys. So visit us today for legal help you can count on. LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
I take Prilosec OTC each morning for my frequent heartburn, because it gives me zero heartburn.
Prilosec OTC, the #1 doctor-recommended frequent heartburn medicine for 9 straight years. 1 pill each morning, 24 hours, zero heartburn.
Losing your Chex Mix too easily? Deploy the Boring Potato Chip Decoy Bag. With a variety of tastes and textures, only Chex Mix has 20 bags of interesting. Pick your mix.
I often think how amazing it is that I am a business owner when I'm definitely not a business guy.
When you believe in something and you want to pursue your dreams, you just have to go for it.
I think owning your own business just makes you feel so much more successful.
We take pride in what we do, but being proud of it is a part of it as well.
So when I design stuff, when I market, it's definitely got to feel like me.
Vistaprint allowed me to create that vision that I had in my mind.
I was able to find a template, then just pop my logo into it.
Vistaprint had all the things that I really needed to be able to market my company.
Your business is your passion. Your marketing materials should reflect that. With Vistaprint, they will. So start putting your passion to work for you with 500 business cards starting at just $9.99. That's right, get 500 cards for just $9.
Xfinity from Comcast gives you a front row seat to every team in the NHL. With NHL Center Ice, you can follow your favorite teams no matter where you live. You get up to 40 out-of-market games a week. And with the Sports app, only on X1, you can see all the live scores in real time and easily switch between close games. Order NHL Center Ice right now for just 4 easy payments of $24.99. Call 1-800-XFINITY or go online.
Cold-Ease lozenges are clinically proven to shorten your cold. Cold-Ease Quick Melts also promote immune health from rose hips, echinacea, and natural energy. Cold-Ease zinc ions released in your mouth inhibit the cold virus from replicating, while natural ingredients promote immune health, antioxidant support, and energy. I'm Ted Karkas, CEO of Cold-Ease. I guarantee Cold-Ease will shorten your cold or your money back. No questions asked.
What was that?
You say it, we build it free. Call 1-877-596-0482 today.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
And you're watching the Weather Channel. Thank you so much for joining us as we keep you updated. Of course, Winter Storm Juno is out of here, but we're looking at a couple of other things. This is Storm Specialist Carl Parker to break it all down for us.
Yeah, we've got another storm on the way. We've got a clipper coming into the northeast, first of all. We're going to have more on that coming up at the top of the hour.
Okay.
But then we've got another storm, and the modeling has really been all over the place about this particular storm. On Tuesday, when Juno was hitting, the models are saying it's going to be a really big deal.
Yeah.
Yesterday, they backed off of that. We're talking about the operational models. The ensembles are a different story, and we'll get into that in a moment. And now we're back to sort of the middle of the road, looking at a modest snowstorm coming across the mid-Atlantic region in particular. Part of the reason why the models are struggling with this is because the energy associated with this eventual storm is a very long way off. And we're going to take a look at where exactly it is. So we're actually watching a couple of different systems. One is now in the southwest, and along with that, we're going to get rain and snow in the southwest next couple of days. Then you've got a very strong jet stream that is across the northeastern Pacific, and the energy associated with that is going to ride up and into Canada, and then across Canada, and then dive down into the middle of the U.S. And so those are the two features that are going to come together. But what exactly is it that we're watching there over the ocean? We don't have nearly the same amount of data over the ocean. You've got all these observation stations on land.
Yeah.
In the ocean, you've got a couple of buoys, and otherwise you've got satellites. And so we're not exactly sure what is going to happen when it gets to the East Coast. But right now, it's looking more like a modest snowstorm.
Okay, but we do know that we have two separate energies or two separate systems that will come together as they move east.
Right, and the one that's already in the southwest is going to be bringing plenty of snow here to the southwest, and that is really good news. You know, it's been so dry in New Mexico for so long, so we really need all this snow. We'll get plenty of it from Taos, right down through the Sandias, right in there, and then down into the southern part of the state as well, not very far away from Carlsbad. So here's a look at how this is going to play out in the modeling, and right there we've got the freezing line basically at 5,000 feet, so that is the rain and snow line. And to the north of that, that's where you've got your snow, mostly lighter snow in the southern lakes, but then a little bit heavier around the Ohio Valley, and then it's rain to the south of that. So we'll put that into motion, takes that low over into the mid-Atlantic region on Monday. And again, what we were seeing a couple of days ago was this really vigorous area of low pressure, and we're thinking, oh no.
Yes.
That's the last thing that we want is another really big storm on top of what we just had. And then yesterday it backed off, and today what we've got is a storm that, in this case, if it were to happen just like this, it would produce a modest amount of snow, a few to several inches, mostly to the south of where the snow occurred this last time.
Okay.
So mostly around D.C. and Philly and that kind of thing. Now, the European model is farther south and showing an even weaker system.
And it's even farther south, as you mentioned.
Even farther south. Yeah, but what's interesting is that, you know, they do this thing called the ensembles. And so what they do is they're trying to account for possible errors going into the model. So they change the model just a little bit, and just a little change creates a vastly different outcome in a lot of different cases. And they do this 50 different times with the European model.
Right.
And they take all those 50 different times and then take the average, and this is the average, and it looks a lot like what the GFS model is saying. So ensemble forecasting is a really huge part of forecasting, and so what we've got right now is it's basically going to be a more modest snowstorm. That's the way it looks right now, which is not to say that it can't change between now and Monday, but that's what we're looking at right now.
But the thing about it is that we're here, we're monitoring each model run every time it comes out, and so you're really right at the best place to get the latest information.
Yeah, and you really have to watch the trends. That's very important, you know, and when you see the models go swing way one way and way the other, you know that they don't have a good handle on it.
Right.
So here's Saturday, there's snow coming down in Colorado, then we watch into Sunday, that snow develops again across the southern lakes, and right in here in the Ohio Valley, that's where it could be fairly heavy, not talking about really heavy, but several inches. And then here on Monday, our heaviest snow likely around the Mason-Dixon line, maybe D.C., Baltimore, Philly, those areas that did not get much snow out of this last storm.
Right. So wrapping it all up, this next system will not be as strong or as intense as Winter Storm Juno, and it may be a little farther south. So for those cities, it will be bigger than Juno was.
That's the way it looks right now, anyway.
And you know we'll stay on top of it. Thanks very much, Carl. All right, we'll be back in less than 60 seconds, so keep it tuned right here.
Currently in our area, 70 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, considerable cloudiness. High 70. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. Low 55. Winds light and variable. Friday, a mainly sunny sky. High 77. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Well, we're fighting through some uncertainty in the models as we plan for the weekend. We're talking about a cross-country storm.
But what we do know for sure is that wintry weather is expected, and it very well will just add insult to injury. But who's going to get what and how much as we plan for the days ahead?
We're here to study the models, to show you how the butterfly effect adds uncertainty, to time and track it all so you can get a better idea of what's headed your way.
Thank you so much for joining us for Weather Center Live. I'm Vivian Brown.
And I'm Mark Elliott. You know, Vivian, this afternoon we're talking about another round of suspense and intrigue. This is a model mystery as we're trying to suss out what the next storm, or next two storms really, are going to bring to the Northeast.
Right, one clipping its way across the Great Lakes with ice and snow. And again, it'll be moving very quickly, but there's another.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about this ice and snow, the calling cards of a fast-moving clipper. We're looking live now at Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh has, has seen some freezing rain and freezing drizzle through the day, but it is now changing over to plain old rain, and that makes for much better conditions in the Pittsburgh area with regards to travel. But Viv, there's still some problems out there. Let's go through them.
Yeah, let's talk more about this clipper system because it'll be swinging through, and as it does, we're anticipating additional snow. Again, a couple of inches, nothing compared to Winter Storm Juno, but nonetheless, they are already issued winter weather advisories. Look at the winter storm warnings here across northern Maine and even across much of northern New England, including Boston. Yes, once again, we're under a winter storm warning, but at least it's not a blizzard warning like we had with Winter Storm Juno. Here is a look at that system as it quickly slides across the Great Lakes area. Again, it will make its way into the Northeast and to New England, adding insult to injury. We don't want to see another flake, right? I know, I hear the echoes even from the studio. You can see this system, though, it will be moving off to the east already. It's bringing a little bit of wintry weather. We've had in and out light rain and freezing rain and even a bit of snow in the Detroit area from earlier this morning. And a lot of that has moved on into the west central parts of New York and northwestern Pennsylvania. But the green, that's indicating where we have rain and some embedded heavier rain, even some storms down here approaching the Roanoke area. It's a narrow line of rain, but it's mainly the wintry weather to the north of it that we're focusing our attention on in terms of just adding insult to injury as we unfortunately have to tell you about this clipper system. Back to you, Mark.
And Viv, that's sure one storm, but yeah, there's another. As we get ever closer to Sunday's big game, the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks headed to Phoenix for the big game that isn't usually mentioned on other networks. But here's the thing. Will weather take the field along with the players? Certainly for those outdoor activities leading into the game. Storm specialist Carl Parker has some answers for us about this cross-country storm.
Well, Mark, it's been very interesting to watch the modeling, and we've seen some really wild swings in the last couple of days. A couple of days ago, it looked like we could be in for another big storm in the Northeast. Yesterday, the models really backed off on that idea. Now they've come back to the middle, and that's where we are right now. And part of the issue has been that the energy that's going to get all that going is way out here with this strong jet stream across the Pacific. So it's a very long way off in a data-sparse area. When you think about it, you got a lot of data coming from all the stations that are across the U.S., each one of those stations feeding data about temperature and humidity and wind and pressure and all of that, and that goes into the models, hundreds and hundreds of them, and you have very little of that over the oceans, and you've got remote sensing. You've got satellites, basically. So that's part of the reason why the models struggle when your system is coming from the ocean. Now, here's a look at the system that's now in the southwest. This is also part of it. That's coming up through the southwest slowly. And along with that, we're going to get some pretty good snow in some areas that really do need it, including New Mexico, where it's been very dry for the better part of the last 5 years. And we're talking about, excuse me, quite a bit of snow, several inches and as much as a foot of snow in the highest of elevations there near Taos, Santa Fe, and into the Sandias. So we go into Sunday, and here is our rain-snow line. So we're talking about snow to the north of that in parts of the Midwest, maybe some slightly heavier snow around the Ohio Valley, maybe several inches for some of you. Then on Monday, that low moves across and into the Mid-Atlantic region. Now, at this time, it looks like it's going to be a sort of moderate system. At least that's what the modeling is indicating. Not incredibly strong, but not terribly weak either. Maybe a few to several inches of snow for areas that really didn't get a lot out of the last big storm. Now, the European model is showing a weaker low farther south, but the European ensembles are indicating something more like what the GFS has. So this is our forecast, and we've got snow across the mountains of New Mexico and Colorado tomorrow. Then on Saturday, a lot of wet weather in the plains, more snow in Colorado. Then we watch snow coming out and into the Midwest on Sunday, and heavier snow developing perhaps for parts of the Mid-Atlantic region, including Baltimore, Washington, and Philly going into Monday. Back to you.
All right, thanks so very much, Carl. Well, it's hard to hear that more snow is expected over the Northeast, but it's a reality. In fact, Winter Storm Juno dumped heavy amounts of snow near Nantucket Island, and it's still digging out from under the massive amounts of snow and ice in the area. Yeah,
storm surge, a big problem there too. It's been a slow process because the tourist destination was actually completely cut off from the Massachusetts mainland.
And NBC's Dylan Dreyer tells us how the island community is coming back from the brink.
Well, here on Nantucket, we are certainly seeing things get back to normal, or at least try to. We've got a lot of snow around. We still have a lot of ice, but that sun is strong and it's starting to melt it away. You're hearing just the plop of the ice melting off of all the branches. But keep in mind, this island was hit hard. During the height of the storm, we saw just incredible pictures coming out of this area. And after all, they were completely cut off for a time. The entire island was in the dark. And we made it on one of the first ferries over here yesterday, and it was all full of utility trucks and food trucks and fuel supplies coming on over. So they were limiting the vehicles to emergency and utility vehicles only. And it looks like they were working all night long because most of the island has their power restored. Boston Public Schools are closed today, but Nantucket schools are open today despite being surrounded by snow, and the ferry service back and forth to Hyannis is back up and running, the airport as well. So we are certainly seeing things come together here. Everything is kind of typical New England style. You know, you get hit with a snowstorm, you deal with it, and then you dig out and you wait for the next one. So it looks like there's a possibility we could see some more snow around here as we get into the latter half of the weekend. But that storm's still a lot of question marks around that one, so we'll see how it plays out. But this area is certainly getting back up on its...
You used to sleep like a champ. Then boom, what happened? Stress, fun, bad habits, kids. Now what? Let's build a new, smarter bed using the dual air chambers to sense your movement, heartbeat, breathing. Introducing the Sleep Number bed with Sleep IQ technology. It tracks your sleep and tells you how to adjust for a good, better, and an awesome night. The difference? Try adjusting up or down. You'll know because Sleep IQ tells you. Only at a Sleep Number store where you'll find the best buy-rated mattress with Sleep IQ technology. No better sleep with Sleep Number.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest-lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
A diaper pail next to a sunny window in a home with triplets with 3 cases of an upset tummy. Pine Sol, cleaning what stinks since 1929.
Sir, we're gonna need you on the runway later.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu. It has the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. TheraFlu breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms, so you never miss a day. TheraFlu, serious power.
Build weather invention.
Wow, anybody else surprised it actually worked?
It was hard to believe weather could do that.
Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
Currently in our area, 70 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, considerable cloudiness. High 70. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly to mostly cloudy. Friday, a mainly sunny sky. High 77. Winds west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Let's go from our little girl to all grown up. Let's say out with the old and in with the options, like that one, or those, with features like this. Let's get exactly what we imagined for less than we thought, and turn a modest budget into a majorly stylish bath. New bathroom? No problem. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Shop stylish vanities in-store and online.
The best part about going to Walt Disney World just might be staying at a Walt Disney World Resort Hotel. From royal encounters to royal rooms. And pirates to paradise. The magic never has to stop. And now you can save up to 30% off a select Walt Disney World Resort Hotel room. Book your stay now and discover how close the magic can be.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
Yet another storm is racing its way across the country. This is Weather Center Live, and we're following this Clipper system, known as a Clipper because it's named after the old fast-moving ships. And these lows move very quickly east to west, dropping down from Canada, racing towards the eastern seaboard. This one's got plenty of cold air to work with, so as it moves towards the east and is pushed through the jet stream, there will be some wintry weather to talk about. In fact, we've already seen some of this wintry weather. Snow up towards the Great Lakes. Notice there is some freezing rain being indicated. Let's start off near the snow, right? Up I-75, if you're headed up north, you'll go right through Saginaw from Detroit, and you'll go through some of that light snow, maybe an inch or two here, not exactly blockbuster totals. As we move our way towards the east a little bit, this is where you get into that mixed bag of precip. Buffalo, you could see some of that light freezing rain moving in. Syracuse, before too much longer, you could have some freezing drizzle. The Pittsburgh area has actually changed over to plain old rain now. That is some good news, as the travel will be much easier now around Pittsburgh and point south from there. Through Elkins, it's just regular old rain, although if you get into the Appalachian chain just north of Roanoke, there's a little bit of freezing rain there. Again, this low is going to be racing its way towards the east. It's going to get off the coast and tap into that Atlantic Ocean moisture, which means heavy snow will actually set up shop across Maine. An additional 8 to 12, Viv, on top of the 20 to 30 that we just had from Juneau. And a lot of you telling us it's just too much.
Oh, yeah, way too much. A slap in the face, really. But let's talk more about that Clipper system because it will also bring some colder air with it in places that have been pretty mild. Look at you, St. Louis. We have cloudy conditions right now, but you can clearly see the arch, so visibilities are good in the city. Let's talk more about those temperatures, though, because the winter cold is back due to the Clipper system kind of ushering in some of the colder air. Not so much, though. It has been so mild over the Intermountain West and across the plains, including around the Kansas City area, where just yesterday we were in the mid-70s. And check it out, 73 degrees for a high yesterday when the average high is about 39 degrees. So that's a good 30 degrees above average. Now today will be slightly above average, not greatly above average. And that'll be the case on Friday and Saturday. But look at Sunday and Monday. We'll drop even below the freezing mark. So the cold air will return eventually to the area. But what a far cry from what we've seen just a couple of days ago. So here is a look at the temperatures, because not only are we talking about it really cooling down from a roller coaster ride over the Intermountain West, but the brunt of the coldest air will remain over the Great Lakes and back into the Northeast. Right now, we're just above the freezing mark in Green Bay and even Chicago, where it's 33 degrees. But when you factor in the winds, it feels even colder than that. And officially, the highs today will not get out of the mid-30s, say for Chicago and Green Bay. And look at tomorrow, even colder than today. Chicago, mid-20s and down into the teens for highs in Green Bay, 27 in Minneapolis. And as I mentioned, around the Kansas City area, only mid-40s are we expecting the next couple of days. So it has really